Get ready to tackle a Cambridge A-level multiple choice question from the May-June 2023 session. Stay tuned, listen closely, and let's learn together. Here's a question. Studies show that some dentists replace patients' teeth more often than is necessary. Which factor helps to explain why excessive dental treatment may take place? It only means one thing. Why do you think some, not all, why some dentists might be over-treating you? And we have to know, what is this concept, this economic concept? Is it letter A, the existence of asymmetric information, B, existence of dynamic efficiency, or C, the existence of positive externalities, or D, the existence of social benefits? And of course, I put the answer, which is letter A, and we have to understand what are the concepts of dynamic efficiency, positive externalities, and social benefit. Dynamic efficiency is the ability of an economy or a firm or a business to improve its productivity over time by innovating and investing in new technologies and processes. So this concept really focuses on the long-term growth and development rather than just short-term gains. And I put the key points, the keywords which are connected with dynamic efficiency. First is the innovation and investment, because it involves dynamic efficiency, has the involvement of continuous improvement. You need to improve continually, and how are you going to improve continually? There's continuous improvement through the R&D or the research and development, and of course the investment in new technologies. The second key point is the cost reduction. So dynamic efficiency is connected with the adaptation, the adoption of better productive methods, because if there are better production methods, the firms or the businesses can lower their cost over time, and it leads to more efficient operations. And the third key point is the long-term focus. Remember, dynamic efficiency is concerned with how well an economy or a firm can adapt and grow in the long run. So, meaning to say it's not a short-term goal, but it's a long-term one. For example, if a company will invest in new machinery, new machines, and they will train. The company trains its employees. So initially, at first, the company incurs a higher cost, but over time, these investments can lead to increase of productivity and lower production costs. So that's it. Dynamic efficiency is all about how the economy or a business improves its productivity over time in the long run through innovation and investment. Positive externalities occur when the actions of an individual or a business result in benefits to others that are not directly involved in the transaction. And these are the positive side effects experienced by the third parties because of the actions of others, and these benefits are not reflected in the market price of the goods and services. And there are several examples. For instance, in the education. So when someone gets an education, that someone can gain personal knowledge and skills. However, what is the third party for that? The society also benefits because the educated individuals can contribute more effectively to the economy and to the whole community. Another example is vaccination. So when a person gets vaccinated, they protect themselves from any disease, And additionally, what's a third party? They also help prevent the spread of the disease to others, and it creates a healthier community. Another example is the public parks. So when a city builds a park, it gives you the recreational space for the residents. And what's the third part of it? It can improve the overall quality of life, and it also increases the property values in the surrounding areas because of there's a park within that area. Positive externalities really highlight a bigger or the bigger benefits that can arise from individual actions. Social benefits in economics is all about the total advantages that society gains from the production or the consumption of a good or service. And it's all about all the private benefits received by individuals or businesses, plus the any external benefits or the third party that spill over to third parties or the society at large. Meaning to say, social benefits is like private benefits plus the external benefits. And when we say private benefits, these are the direct advantages to the individual or the business involved in the economic activity. So, for example, a company, the company might benefit from profits. So, company's private benefit is the profits, and then the consumers enjoy the utility or what we call the satisfaction from using a product. When we say external benefits, these are the positive effects on the third parties. Again, the keyword is third parties, aka the external benefits, who are not really directly involved in the economic transaction. For instance, when someone gets vaccinated, as I've told you earlier, it's not only protecting the people who have been vaccinated, but it also reduces the spread of disease in the community. So the summation or the totality of the private benefits and external benefits are what we call the total social benefit. And if a good or service has a very significant external benefits, then the total social benefit will be greater than the private benefit alone. For example, so in education, when the individuals gain knowledge and skills, what will happen? It can lead to better job opportunities, and the job opportunities are what we call the private benefit. On the other hand, the society benefits from having a more educated workforce. And what's going to happen? It can lead to the economic growth and innovation. And that's what we call the external benefit. Another is the usage of the public transportation. So when citizens save money and time, that's the private benefit of having public transportation. And the external benefit of it is that the society benefits from the reduction of traffic and traffic congestion and the lower pollution levels. So again, total social benefit is the summation of private benefits and external benefits. Asymmetric information is the occurrence when one party in the transaction has more or better information than the other party. Meaning to say, for example, the seller in the transaction knows more about a product or service than the buyer. And what's going to happen is that it can lead to an unfair advantage and potentially cause market failures. Perfect example is the used car market. So sellers know more about the conditions of the car than the buyers, and it can lead to the sale of the bad cars at the higher prices. And why is asymmetric information important? Because it can lead to many issues in markets. Number one is the market failure. When buyers and sellers have different information, it can really lead to inefficient market outcomes. For example, if buyers cannot know or cannot distinguish between high quality and low quality products, they may be unwillingly to pay a premium for high quality goods, and it will lead to a market dominated by low quality products. The second is the moral hazard, meaning to say it occurs when one party takes one more risk because they do not bear the full consequences of that risk. For instance, if a person has health insurance, they might be less careful about their health because they know that the insurance will cover the medical expenses. And lastly, the adverse selection. It happens when one party uses their superior information to their advantage, and it often leads to a selection of poorer quality of goods or higher risk individuals. For instance, in the insurance market, those who know that they are at the higher risk are more likely to buy insurance, and it can lead to higher premiums for everyone. For the MCQs, why other options are not correct? Letter B, because it's not correct because dynamic efficiency refers to the optimal allocation of resources over time, and it focuses on innovation and long-term benefits, which means that this concept is not directly related to the issue of excessive dental treatment. Letter C is no, because positive externalities occur when a third party benefits from a transaction that are not directly involved in. And this concept does not explain why dentists might perform unnecessary treatments. Letter D is no, because social benefits are the total benefits to society from a particular action, including private and external benefits. So this concept does not explain why excessive dental treatment might occur. In the context of dental treatment, dentists typically have more knowledge about the dental health and necessary treatments than their patients. So this imbalance can lead to situations where dentists might recommend more treatments than necessary, because knowing that patients may not have this expertise to question their recommendations. So the answer is letter A, the existence of asymmetric information. And take note that it really leads to excessive treatment because of the knowledge gap, since patients rely heavily on the expertise of their dentist. Okay, so if a dentist suggests a treatment, then patients are likely to trust their judgment even if the treatment is not that strictly necessary. Another reason behind asymmetric having an asymmetric information or is the profit motive, because some not all, okay, some dentists might be motivated by financial incentives to recommend more expensive or frequent treatments. And of course, some patients cannot really easily verify the necessity of this treatment, so they might agree to them. And lastly, because of the trust patients place in their dentist can be exploited. So patients may not seek second opinions or questions the necessity of the treatment, and it leads to over-treatment. And there are mechanisms to mitigate the asymmetric information. And when we say mitigate, it's all about reduce. How are you going to reduce, diminish, lessen, weaken, lighten, alleviate the asymmetric information? The first is, of course, the warranties and guarantees. These can assure the buyers, like us, about the quality of the product. And the second is the regulations and standards. So the governments can impose regulations to ensure transparency and protect the consumers. And lastly, the screening and signaling. So parties can use methods to reveal or gather information. For instance, the employers might use educational qualifications as a signal of a candidate's ability. So understanding asymmetric information helps explain why certain market behaviors occur and what can be done to address the inefficiencies it causes.